All right, I gotta read this thing. Welcome message. How bad can it be? Oh my God. This is literally terrible. Oh God, I do not want to read this shit. Let's see who's commenting. Here's a comment right here. Marty says, if anyone other than Nicole reads the welcoming message, my year will be ruined. My disappointment will be immeasurable, and I may very well remove all my hand-drawn talk murder to me posters off my wall. It's that serious. Hey, Nicole, can you come read this? You go into this dungeon. You're a woman, you just been drugged, you wake up in this dungeon, you got a dog collar on you, you're chained up, you may be in a box, there may be another girl in there with you, you don't know what's going on, you're butt naked, it's, you're down here, it's kind of cold down in this dungeon, there's no lights on, you hear people getting tortured. In the tape, you can actually, like, they'll put the italicized where it says, woman screaming in background.
Oh.
And then there's some places where it's like David actually stops the recording or walks out of the room and tells other people to keep it down so he's recording.
Oh my God.
Which means there's more than one people going in on these torture things. But so
more than just the two here.
Yeah, so you're scared, you're screaming, which to him is annoying. So immediately he plays these tapes to tell you what's going to happen to you, to explain everything. And I'm going to have you read it right now. So this is what you guys all wanted Nicole to read this, so we'll let her do it.
I have a lot of questions, and I'm sure we're going to go through all of it in our next part.
All right. This is kind of long, the welcome message, but you're going to read the whole thing. Okay. In its entirety. But when she's reading this, you guys just imagine yourself in this dungeon. You haven't been raped yet. You've been stripped naked. You haven't been tortured, put dildos in. There's no cattle prods, nothing. You're just naked and you're chained up and it's dirty and you're screaming. You don't know what the fuck to do. So the whole time you're reading this is what's being said to you.
Hello there, bitch. Are you comfortable right now? I doubt it. Wrists and ankles chained, gagged, probably blindfolded. You are disoriented and scared too, I would imagine. Perfectly normal under the circumstances. For a little while, at least, you need to get your shit together and listen to this tape.
All right, so you see what's going on. He says you need to get this shit you need to get your shit together. Stop screaming and calm down. This is what's going to happen to you.
For a second, it took me a second to realize that you were starting the recording. You're like, hello there, bitch. And I'm like, okay, are we about to start? Like,
yeah.
Jen.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that immediately...
It's weird...
But it immediately sets
strange.
Yeah, but it immediately. That's a good point, Jen. It immediately sets the precedence that you're a lower form than us. And he calls himself, like, if you have to pee, for instance, you would say, master, can I pee? Or
I hate
mistress, can I pee? Type, if it was Cindy. But yeah, he's immediately saying you're lower than a dog. That's a good point you brought up.
For a little while, at least, you need to get your shit together and listen to this tape. It is very relevant to your situation. I'm going to tell you in detail why you have been kidnapped, and what's going to happen to you and how long you'll be here. I don't know the details of your capture, because this tape is being created July 23rd, 1993, as a "this is what's going to happen to you" tape for my captives.
1993. He was caught in 1999. How many women you think he would say? 4 to 6 women
a year.
So that's like almost 40 women.
Yeah. Now, where are these women at now? They're not all high or
they're not
stuffed
all
in the. They're not all dead, even though they could be. But he'll say why not. So why didn't these women come forward?
Well, you would think even if he's not killing them in the tapes, he's killing them after, so that they do not.
No, I'm telling you.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Well, they're probably afraid of some sort of retribution against them.
There's something else. He'll explain it in this, actually.
The information I'm going to give you is based on my experiences dealing with captives over a period of several years. If at a future date there are any major changes in our procedures, this tape will be upgraded.
It's like a customer service.
Your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is he like hypnotizing them?
Yeah, he is. But he
Successfully?
He does other things too.
But how can you be hypnotized with just an audio?
I just noted. Let me get into that next episode. But yes, he does use. Well, he uses several methods, including some drugs, some suggestibility drugs, which I can't pronounce because they're medical drugs.
No,
it's
roofies?
not. No, it's not roofies. It's like you remember we talked about that. Dragons, what was it called?
Yeah, dragon's breath.
Dragon's breath that will make you do whatever.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Oh.
So he'll use stuff kind of similar to that, and over a period of a week, it'll be like what do you call it when you leave a company? The outboarding
the exit
interviews.
Exit interview.
So they'll literally do exit type of interview shits.
What the fuck?
It's crazy.
It's almost like that show
What show?
that we were watching based on that book. The one with Nicole Kidman. Where they
with they drug him at the camp. Leon Moriarty.
Yeah.
Way different, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it is way different, but
I get they're being drugged and kind of
but then
you actually do like it, don't
but
you?
at the end they're kind of like, all right, whatever.
Is there any other Leon Moriarty fans out there?
Leon?
Freaking Nicole is obsessed.
I've read every
dude.
book. If at a future date there are any major changes in our procedures, the tape will be upgraded. Now, you're obviously here against your will. Totally helpless. Don't know where you're at. Don't know what's going to happen to you. You're scared or pissed off. I'm sure you've already tried to get your wrists and ankles loose, and now you can't. Now you're waiting to see what's going to happen next. You probably think you're going to be raped, and you're fucking sure right about that.
Oh my God.
It is worse. A lot worse.
I'm glad that you have been requested to read this because I don't think I'd be able to
I know.
make it through.
asked everyone, and the majority of people want you to read it, which is great with me because
I am the designated reader. Okay.
Unless it has an accent.
Yeah, exactly. Our primary interest is what you've got between your legs. You'll be raped thoroughly and repeatedly in every hole you've got, because basically you've been snatched and brought here for us to train and use as a sex slave. Sound kind of far out? Well, I suppose it is to the uninitiated, but we do it all the time. It's gonna take a lot of adjustment on your part, and you're not going to like it a fucking bit, but I don't give a rat's ass about that. It's not like you're going to have any choice in the matter. You've been taken by force, and you're going to be kept and used by force. What all this amounts to is that you're going to be kept naked and chained up like an animal, to be used and abused anytime we want to, any way we want to. And you might as well start getting used to it, because you're going to be kept here and used until such time we get tired of fucking around with you. And we will eventually, in a month or 2 or 3. It's no big deal. My lady friend and I have been keeping sex slaves for years. We both have kinky hang-ups involving rape, dungeon games, etc. We found that it is extremely convenient to keep 1 or 2 female captives available constantly to satisfy our particular needs. We are very selective when we snatch a girl for use for these purposes. It goes without saying that you have a fine body, and you're probably young. Maybe very young. Because, for our purposes, we prefer to snatch girls in early to mid-teens, sexually developed, but still small body, scared shitless, easy to handle, and easy to train. And they usually have tight little pussies and assholes. They make perfect slaves.
Jesus.
All right. Anytime we go on a hunting trip, if we can't find a little teenager... Oh, interesting. They call it a hunting trip.
Yeah.
Anytime we go on a hunting trip, if we can't find a little teenager, we usually start hitting the gay bars looking for a well-built, big-titted lesbian. I thoroughly enjoy raping and screwing around with lesbians, and there's not much danger of them carrying a sexually transmitted disease, and I don't like using condoms. Also, even though they're a little older, unless they've been playing with dildos a lot, they still have tight little holes between their legs, like the younger girls.
Now,
holy shit.
Did he get any of them pregnant? Do we know?
Interesting question.
That is really interesting. I didn't. Ask me that next week. I didn't see that, but I'm going to look it up.
If he's not, I mean, I would imagine that if they're being traumatized the way that they are, then they probably lost the baby if they did get pregnant. But if he's not using condoms,
I can't remember reading that, but maybe I need to go back and look again.
If we can't find a lesbian that we want, we snatch anything that is young, clean, and well-built. We seldom come back empty-handed because there's plenty of bitches out there to choose from. And with little practice in deception, most of them are very easy to get with little risks. At this point, it makes little difference what category you fall into. You're here, and we're going to make the most of it. You're going to be kept in a hidden slave room. It is relatively soundproof, escape-proof, and is completely stocked with devices and equipment to satisfy our particular fetishes and deviations. There may or may not be another girl in the room. Occasionally, for variety, we like to keep two slaves at the same time. In any case, as the new girl, you will definitely be getting the most attention for a while.
Oh my God, dude. He's talking so... Casually. And I don't know if it's this one, but he pauses the tape and he has to tell someone's being tortured in another room. And I think they were using like electrical saw or something. And the woman was screaming and he has to go tell him to be quiet so he can do his audio tape. I don't know if it was this one or not.
Now, as I've said earlier, you're going to be kept like an animal. I guess I've been doing this too long. I've been raping bitches ever since I was old enough to jerk off and tie a little girl's hands behind her back. As far as I'm concerned, you're a pretty piece of meat to be used and exploited. I don't give a flying fuck about your mind or how you feel about the situation. This is awful.
He's a terrible human being.
Well, you haven't heard the half of it yet.
Oh,
so
God.
Saying that...
Wait, she's not even halfway done?
No, I'm saying about him.
Oh.
He said he was doing this until... Read that last line? He was...
I don't give a flying fuck about your mind or how you
about
feel.
him doing this and...
Since he was old enough to jerk off.
Yeah, so guess
He's
real
been
quick...
raping since then.
Well, guess real quick when he first had... the urge to hurt a woman.
10.
Damn. Yeah, it was 10.
Oh.
Holy shit. Well, there you go.
Nailed it. You may be married, have a kid or two, a boyfriend, girlfriend, a job, car payments. Fuck it. I don't give a big rat's ass about any of that, and I don't want to hear about it. It's something you're going to have to deal with after you've turned loose. I make it a point to never like a slave, and I fucking sure don't have any respect for you. Here, your status is no more than one of the dogs or one of the animals out in the barn. Your only value to us is the fact that you have an attractive, usable body. And like the rest of our animals, you'll be fed and watered, kept in good physical condition, kept reasonably clean, and allowed to use the toilets when necessary. In return, you're going to be used hard, especially during the first few days while you're new and fresh.
Ugh.
Good grief.
And he's like, in return, it's like, what are they getting out of it? Nothing. So how is that
Actually, I think he says it. He pays them. He pays them so let's say they were there for 3 months. I think it's like he'll put $100 bill in their pocket, which is like $1 a day. It's crazy because it's fucking nuts, his psychology, because it's sometimes it's almost like he's, I don't know, not fucking terrible because he does stuff like that. He doesn't just kill them all. Like, it's weird. It's super weird.
I think I know who he kind of looks like.
Who?
Oz in the Wizard of Oz movie?
The original?
Yeah, like the old one.
I don't know. I've never seen that.
Really?
Oh my God, it's so scary.
That's about that lion that doesn't have a heart.
The lion doesn't
hasn't
have
courage.
Oh, and then that
the Tin Man doesn't have a heart.
Tin Man that like hits his heels together.
No,
that's Dorothy.
Oh.
You're on the right track, though. You definitely know what I'm talking about.
Did you know that if supposedly if you play Dark Side of the Moon at the same time as the Wizard of Oz, it matches up
to like the monkeys or something? I don't know.
Something.
Sorry, I'm trying to take a break here mentally to read
long.
this.
I know it's long.
He's still not done?
No, it's still going.
We got to read it all though.
Well, yeah, obviously, but what more could he have to say?
There's more stuff about holes in there.
He said every hole. Does that even mean like their ears? That's sad.
Okay, ready? You're going to be kept chained in a variety of different positions, usually with your legs or knees forced wide apart. Your pussy and asshole is going to get a real workout, especially your asshole, because I'm into anal sex. Also, both of those holes are going to be subjected to a lot of use, with some rather large dildos among other things. And it goes without saying that there's going to be a lot of oral sex. On numerous occasions, you're going to be forced to suck cock and eat pussy until your jaws ache and your tongue is sore. You might not like it, but you're fucking sure going to do it. Oh my God.
Why does that go without saying? Because that didn't match up with the other stuff.
Good Lord. And that's the easy part. Our fetishes and hang-ups include stringent bondage, dungeon games, a little sadism, nothing serious, but uncomfortable and sometimes painful. Just a few little hang-ups that we like to use when we're getting off on a bitch. Laughs. If you're a young teeny bopper and ignorant about fetishes and deviations, you're going to get an enlightening crash course on sex ed. Who knows? You might like some of it. It happens occasionally. Now, I've already told you that you're going to be here for a month or two, maybe 3, if you keep us turned on. If it's up to my lady friend, we'd keep you indefinitely. She's just as much fun and less risky. But personally, I like variety, fresh pussy every now and then to play with. We take 4 or 5 girls each year, depending on our urges, and sometimes accidental encounters. Basically, I guess we are like predators. We're always looking. Occasionally, some sweet little thing we will be broke down on the side of the road, walking, bicycling, jogging. Anytime an opportunity like that presents itself, and it's not risky, we'll grab her.
I wish these were available
to hear,
but yeah, the FBI didn't make any of the tapes or anything.
It would
available.
have been much better to just, I mean, not that it's better to listen to it, but like it would have been easier for me.
She's heard it. Where did you find it, Sydney?
No, I know you're probably talking. Somebody remade it on YouTube.
Oh,
apparently it's not available anywhere.
Okay, I think this is where it comes back. Variety is definitely the spice of life. Now, I'm sure you're a great little piece of ass and you're going to be a lot of fun to play with, but I will get tired of you eventually. If I killed every bitch that we kidnapped, there'd be bodies strung all over the country. And besides, I don't like killing a girl unless it's absolutely necessary, so I devised a safe alternative method of disposal. I had plenty of bitches to practice on over the years, so I got it pretty well down pat, and I enjoy doing it. I get off on mind games. After we get completely through with you, and you're going to be drugged up real heavy on a combination of pentothal and phenobarbital.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with the hypnosis.
They are hypnotic drugs that will make you extremely susceptible to hypnosis, auto-hypnosis, and hypnotic suggestions. You're going to be kept drugged a couple of days while I play with your mind. By the time I get through brainwashing you, you're not going to remember a fucking thing about this little adventure.
That's crazy. Is it not? Holy shit.
Wow.
What's that? Wow. Wow. It's fucking nuts, man. They used to brainwash people like POWs and stuff. So obviously it works. I mean, if your brain is basically a hard drive, you can just clear it, right?
I
That's
don't know.
a scary way to look
I
at
don't
things.
know.
If you look at the brain and you look at the computer, they're basically synonymous. You have your subconscious, which is like the hard drive, the storage, and then you have like your random memory, was it, or your random access memory, which is your things you're doing now. That's like your conscious. So
all right, let me just finish this, please. Sorry. I gotta get this over.
So if my brain is running out of storage, like a computer,
no, your brain I don't think can run out of storage.
You need to upgrade your brain.
Get an external hard drive.
Yeah, how does that work? So I just like install one right here, like.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure we're in a simulation. Go ahead.
You won't remember this place, us, or what has happened to you. There won't be any DNA evidence because you'll be bathed, and both holes between your legs will be thoroughly flushed out. You'll be dressed, sedated, and turned loose on some country road. Bruised, sore all over, but nothing that won't heal up in a week or two. The thought of being brainwashed may not be appealing to you, but we've been doing it a long time, and it works, and it's the lesser of two evils. I'm sure you would prefer that in lieu of being strangled or having your throat cut. There may or may not be a missing persons report, but nobody is going to be looking for you. There are not going to be any knights in shining armor coming to rescue you. As for escaping, I'm sure you'll try to figure out a way. That's human nature. But it's not hardly worth talking about here. It wouldn't be prudent on our part to have you running around in the woods screaming rape. It would be embarrassing, to say the least. Consequently, you're going to be kept in an environment that's even more secure than a prison cell. A steel padlock is going to be placed around your neck. It has a very long, heavy chain that is padlocked to a ring on the door. The collar will never be removed until you are turned loose. It is a permanent fixture. The hidden playroom where you're going to be kept has steel walls, floors, and ceiling. It is soundproofed and has a steel door with 2 keyed locks. The hinges are welded on, and there are 2 deadbolts on the outside. The room is totally escape-proof, even with the tools. If you are alone in the room, your wrists will be chained. There is a closed-circuit TV system wired to the main TV in the living room, so we can check on you every once in a while, or just sit and watch you for the fun of it. Electronics is a wonderful thing. Expensive, but hell, everything in the playroom is expensive and well worth it. If everyone knew how much fun it was to keep a sex slave, half of the women in America would be chained up in somebody's basement.
How much longer is this thing?
I don't know.
How many more pages?
A fucking lot.
Fuck, are you sure?
Yes,
yeah.
She's looking at it.
Shit.
He's a mean
There's like
man.
5 more pages.
Fuck.
How long can you get? What a narcissist.
Well, we can put it in later if you want.
I think we owe the people that are here to hear the thing.
Do y'all want to hear it or not? She can always put it in later.
I mean, I have to read it one way or another, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like either brace for it now.
Yeah,
I'm out.
You're out?
Yeah, but you could be in here reading it while I'm playing video games. Shit.
He's in here playing video games and I take a nap.
I'm just fucking reading this by myself.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you.
Sydney says, I try not to hear it too often. What? How often? Hey, does anybody...
They're in it now.
Yeah,
they
Lee says she's in it now.
Does anyone out there... I think this is more of a female thing, but do y'all listen to the true crime ASMR?
Oh, no, I haven't heard of that.
It's where they talk really like this.
And they scratch them.
Oh, yeah, they scratch it.
Ew. That really actually creeps me out, so...
I've never heard.
Stop it.
Hold on, you gotta take the little thing off and tap.
Tap, 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 tap. I'm scratching my butthole.
If John did an ASMR, it would literally be full of that. And I kind of want you to go into it now. Sometimes they do like weird noises. Like...
Yeah, those fucking mouth noises are gross.
Yeah, I don't like those. I didn't know that they had a true crime ASMR though.
Well, there's a couple. We thought about.
Or they just whisper the stories. Yeah. Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, because when you're sleeping, I don't know, you can hear it to fall asleep. There's also like keyboard ones, so it's just like hours of someone typing.
Yeah, or they get their nails full sets and they just tap.
Yeah.
This is awful, guys. I'm like reading ahead. I can't believe I have to read this.
Or they have like silly putty that they put on their microphone and they just like peel it off.
Oh, I haven't done that one.
And they have one where they have scissors and they like pretend you're at the barbershop and then they would like
my God.
things.
It's like pretend
there's like so many different things that you can do with ASMR.
Pretend this is a a baby carrot.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh shit, my finger.
No, that's different. That fear is not cutting it off. It is biting through it.
I really don't want to keep reading this.
You want to sub out? I can read some for you.
It's really bad.
No, it's not.
I mean, I've read worse, probably. Well, maybe not.
No, I think this is the worst thing we have had.
Is it get worse? I can't remember.
Probably.
He's going to start talking about oral sex next.
This was a long ass book to read.
Okay, let's talk about your training. The rules and the punishment. Here you are, a slave, and discipline is extremely strict. You're going to be given a set of rules. As soon as each rule is told to you, it will become law. This is what will happen if you fuck up. We will use a couple of different methods of punishment. A whip is an excellent training aid, so is the electroshock machine. Anytime you get out of line, one or both will be used on your body, and I assure you it will not be pleasant. On the first day, we won't cut you any slack at all. Now, let's start this right off. You're a slave. I'm your master, and the lady is your mistress. You will be totally docile. You will be very quiet. You'll speak only when spoken to. Never initiate conversation. Keep your mouth shut. Do exactly what is told to you, nothing else. Obey my commands. Anything less will get you beaten. If I tell you I want to be sucked off, you say, yes, master, and open your mouth. Each time I get ready to come, I'm going to push my penis down your throat and keep it there until I get through squirting.
Oh, God.
I'm not going...
Oh, because he's an old man, too. So think that guy...
Just stop. I don't want to think about it. Just let me keep going, please.
We can comment after, I guess.
I'm not going to choke you, but I need you to learn how to hold your breath and to swallow every bit of sperm. If I see one drop leaking from your mouth, I'm going to punish you. It's the same with your mistress. Learn how to use your tongue. If during oral sex or any other time you should bite down on one of us, I'm going to cut you a little bit. Your teeth are serious weapons. I have been bitten and cut off nipples, so don't fuck around. If your mistress comes into this room and tells you to get down on the floor, you say, yes, mistress. If she tells you to pull your knees up, you say, yes, mistress. If she tells you to spread your knees, you say, yes, mistress, and spread them wide apart and hold them there so she can play with your pussy. Don't kick, struggle, or resist in any way. If you do, you're going to be in a world of hurts. For repeated rule violations, the punishments are going to eventually become harsh and even brutal, and you won't have nobody to blame but yourself. Now let's discuss talking. You cannot talk. I believe that rule gets more bitches into trouble than anything else because they can't keep their damn mouth shut. They always want to whine, beg, plead, try to talk me into turning them loose. I used to listen to it. I don't anymore. I enjoy blessed silence. And around here, your mouth is for sucking, not talking. The only time I ever want to hear you initiate speech is if you have to use the restroom. If you have to pee, say pee, master, or pee, mistress. You will definitely need to tell us because if you make a mess, you're going to be punished and you'll have to clean it up. Now, I've got to tell you, there's the other side to the coin. Once in a while, we get a bitch who is rebellious and won't mind. That doesn't work here. I'm sure you realize that you're on thin ice. If you should hurt either one of us, you could be in very serious trouble. I'm sure you want to survive this experience, but you are expendable. It's no big deal to go out and grab a replacement. It may sound harsh and cold, but if you give us too much trouble, I won't have any qualms about slashing your throat. I don't like killing girls, but occasionally bad things happen. I would really hate to dump that pretty little body off in a canyon somewhere to rot. Everything we do to a girl is designed to cause pain, not injury. No matter how painful it is, nothing we plan to do to your body will cause any permanent damage. I'm not lying to you. You're going to be whipped lightly for pleasure. You're going to be shocked lightly for pleasure. Mostly, the other nasty little things we're going to do, for the most part, will be done to your breasts, nipples, between your legs. The lady is fortunate. She can get off any time. She just likes to be a little sadistic with a slave every once in a while. In my case, I could not get off with a girl unless I hurt her first. That is basically the reason I'm into rape and slavery. That's the reason you're going to be subjected to a certain amount of pain. Mostly what I do to a captive is stick needles in her breasts and through her nipples, through her cunt lips, through her clit, and I'm also stretching certain things here. Clamps with long nylon cords will be placed into your cunt lips so your pussy can be pulled open and there's going to be attached to your nipples. The nylon cords will be pulled through the ceiling rings and pulled very tight to stretch your tits. Occasionally, your clit will also be clamped and stretched, and we're going to be using dildos. The dildos are going to be used a lot more than anything else, and consequently, we are going to have the most trouble with. Many of them are very long, large in diameter, and very painful while they're being forced in. I like to use them in both holes, and your mistress will use them in your pussy. As far as needles go, they'll always be sterilized. The clamps are going to hurt like a motherfucker, but they won't cause permanent injury. They don't even break the skin. As far as dildos go, both of those holes between your legs will stretch out a hell of a lot. Your pussy is designed for a baby to come out. We won't use anything bigger than that. The real large ones will not be used in your butt. Every once in a while, we get a screamer. Some bitch that just wants to scream all the time. And that always gets on my nerves. We live in an isolated area, so screaming is usually not a problem, but it irritates the fuck out of me. If you do it habitually, we will keep a ball gag in your mouth all the time, and I'll never take it out. Pretty soon, I'm going to be asking you a bunch of questions. I've prepared a questionnaire that I will fill out with each new captive. Some of the questions are going to be embarrassing, but you should answer them truthfully. I don't want to catch you in a lie. You will be naked and you will be strapped down to the gynecology table so you can't wiggle or squirm around. I like to keep a girl that way while she's answering questions. Before you start answering questions, 2 small electrical clamps will be put on your nipples. Each time a question is asked, you will respond properly. Think about what you're going to say before you say it because we're not in a hurry. Each time you fuck up, I'm going to press a little button and send a few thousand volts of electricity through your nipples. I'm not going to hold it down to torture you, but each time you screw up, it's going to get a little bit worse.
A few thousand? A couple months ago, you got shot with 120 volts when you stuck that knife in the outlet.
It was a screwdriver.
So a few thousand. Oh my God. How much longer is it?
Let me just keep.
All right,
going.
keep it this train going.
After you finish answering the questions, I'm going to examine you. All girls are different. I want to become very familiar with your sex organs and the size of your holes. Later that first day, you're going to be raped several times, but that's no big deal. The second day, after you get familiar with rules and procedures, we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty. Things will not be pleasant for you, but you may as well get used to it because it's going to be like that for a while. Well, I believe I've told you about everything I can. Be smart and be a survivor. Don't ever scream. Don't talk without permission. Be very quiet. Be docile, and by all means, show proper respect. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. You're fucking locked in a dungeon. Like, have a nice day.
That was the worst I think we've ever read.
Yeah.
I didn't fucking read it. You read it. I wasn't going to read that shit.
So that was the first time you were hearing it?
No, I'm talking about, I wasn't going to read it out loud.
That was bad.
Yeah.
Nicole, you deserve an award.
All right. See, well, that was supposed to be a teaser episode, but I guess we kind of went too far on it. Let me talk real quick. I know this guy's, should I save the first body found to the next one? Let's save it.
I think so. I think that was a lot.
All right. Sorry.
I mean, that was a lot for, like, I'm very disturbed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, okay. All right.
Multiple parts are needed for this case.
Yeah, and we're going to actually, so I got 2 episodes, guys, that I haven't, that we recorded that I haven't put out yet. I keep saying I'm going to put it out. I've got to put, wait, we already talked about this. Yeah. So I'm going to put those out. Gold star for Nicole.
Thanks, Sydney.
So I'm going to put this out on Tuesday and then those other 2 episodes this week. Then we're going to revisit it. And then next week, just prepare yourself because it's going to be, we're diving pretty deep into this.
You know what the best part about next week is?
It's vacation.
The following day, I do not have to go to work. So it may be a sleepover episode.
Yep.
For the next episodes, little things we're going to go over. We're going to actually see all the devices and see how they're used with different victims. We're also going to talk about another kidnap and torture of a Kelly Van Cleve. This was the summer of 1996. We're going to go into her a lot because it wasn't just her that tortured her. It was also David's daughter, Jessie. That's what her name is. Glenda Ray. So we're going to talk about her MO as well. So David's biological daughter is also involved in this. There's also a few more awful people involved in this that we're going to get into as well. And it's just, we're going to talk about what sexual sadism is. And we're going to talk about the MO of David. Like, how did he start this? We're just going to talk about a lot of shit. Great job. Thank you. Thanks for making my state look worse than Pee Wee Gaskin's state.
Damn.
So anyway, thank you guys so much for live chat. You guys were really nice to me, so thank you so much. Telling me some really nice things.
I mean, I know you felt like you're like, oh man, it's a big episode.
Well, I told Nicole, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to do. I say that a lot. Yeah. And then you're like, you're going to do it. And I'm like, okay.
We got people waiting every week at 1.
Yeah, I know. Well, 1 is more like 2:30.
I was late today. That was my fault. I couldn't get out of bed.
All right. Well, Jen's going to take a nap here. So that's all I got for live chat, guys. I don't know. Love you guys a lot.
See you next week.
And until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people. There you go.